Okay, today our lesson is using base 10 blocks to add within 100. So we've practiced adding with numbers up to 20. Today, it's our new challenge. We get to add up to 100. So do you have your manipulatives, your base 10 blocks, and you have your whiteboard and your marker?
Yes.
Perfect. Before we start, we're gonna go over our learning goal. So listen, I can determine sums up to 100 using procedural reliability. So let's mark it up so we know what we're supposed to be learning today. So when we practice, we know what our goal is. All right, I can determine. What do we think the word determine means? Think about when you go to the cafeteria and you get to choose your flavor of milk. There's 3 choices, right? Regular, chocolate, and strawberry. And you have to go determine which milk flavor you want to use. Tell each other, which milk do you determine to have?
Chocolate. I agree with you.
You agreed? Okay, so if you're determining your flavor of milk, what does that mean you do? What do you do, Rosalina?
Decide.
Okay, we can decide. Could it also mean you choose your flavor of milk?
Yes.
You have to pick a flavor of milk to eat for lunch? Okay, so we have to determine or decide sums. The sum. If we are finding the sum, you're gonna whisper in your hand. Are we adding or subtracting? Whisper. Share it out. Adding. We're gonna add. So I'm gonna put the addition sign, a plus sign next to that, so we know we are adding. And what's a sum? What is it? That's when we find the answer. So we can also put a little equal sign. So up to 100 using procedural reliability. Now that's a big fancy academic word, isn't it? And you say procedural reliability?
Procedural reliability.
All right, so we know procedural reliability is, that means that we have a strategy that always works. And we already practiced some strategies when we were adding within 20. Today, we're gonna learn a different strategy using base 10 blocks. So we have a strategy that always works. Just like we did before. Today, our strategy is base 10 blocks. So I'm going to draw a rod, like you'll see in your box, and a cube, like you have in your box. All right, let's mimic. Ready to mimic? I can determine sums up to 100 using a strategy that always works. All right. So before we start, I want to go over a couple words with you guys, just so during the lesson you're not confused and we can focus on the math. So here's a simple equation. We probably know this one, right? 3 plus 2 equals 5. All right, so I want to pay special attention right here. Tell your partner what this is. It's a plus sign, so it means you do addition. What would the opposite of addition be? If we weren't going to do addition, we'd be doing which, Rihanna? What's the opposite of adding?
Plus.
So adding, we use a plus sign. If we're not going to add, you can look back there on our bulletin board. We have adding, we also have subtracting. So that's our other. These are both called operations. Can you say operation? Operation. So an operation tells us what to do in the problem. So we know if we see a plus sign, that means we're going to add. And if we see a minus sign, that means we're going to subtract. Perfect. Now here, what's this called? We know this. You can shout it out. Addition? What is addition? 3 plus 2.
Minus. No.
What is this symbol called? Equals. It's the equal sign. Very good. The equal sign. And then I want to talk about this number right here. So 3 plus 2 equals 5. This number 5, what does the 5 represent? Do you know the word for the answer in an addition problem? It was in our learning goal. When we add, we determine what is the answer to an addition problem called? I can tell you. So now you know, ready to learn it? The answer to an addition problem is called the sum. The sum. So today, we're gonna determine sums up to 100. So when we add, that means our numbers can equal all the way up to 100. All right, before I show you my model, I want you to open up your box. And I want you to find a cube. One that looks just like this. I got a green one. So I want you to think back to when we were adding in our previous lessons. And quietly in your mind, so don't share it out yet. What is the value of this cube? What is it worth? Whisper in your hand. What's it worth? Share it out. 1. So we know that a cube is worth 1. All right, now I want you to find a rod. One of the rods, the sticks. One that looks like this. All right, with your partner, I want you to notice with your cube and this rod, I want you to see if you girls can figure out what is a rod worth. So turn and talk with your partner. What is the value of a rod?
I think is a 10.
All right. And then so Anna, what did you girls think?
We think this is a 10 block.
So it's a 10 rod, so that means it is worth how many?
10.
It's worth 10. So how many ones are in a 10 rod? 10. So we know there's 1 cubes, and a 10. And these are really nice because we can even see the cubes. So there should be 10 cubes in the 10. All right, you can put those down for now. So you can put your markers down, put your cubes down, have your hands in your lap. You should be watching with your eyes and listening with your ears. Turn them on, ding, ding, ding. Okay, I'm gonna model for you how we're gonna add using our base 10 blocks. You have the actual blocks, which is really great. So when you do it, you're gonna use your blocks. I'm gonna draw it and show you what it would look like, okay? So my problem here, 47 plus 26 equals blank. So the first thing we have to do is we have to mark up our tens place and our ones place. So if we have our tens place, I always like to mark those with a line, an underline, so I always know if it's an underlined number, that's my tens place. And an O for my ones place, I mark that with a dot. So we'll use the 10 rod for your tens place, and a cube for our ones place. So let's mark up our numbers. 47, 4 tens and 7 ones, plus 26, 2 tens and 6 ones, equals blank. All right, we're gonna start with 47. I'm gonna draw my tens first. I see I have 4 tens. 10, 20, 30, 40. And I have 7 ones. I'm just gonna draw circles, little dots for the ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now plus 26. We can use a different color. So I have 2 tens, 10, 20, and 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Now I've represented each number using 10 rods and 1 cubes. My next step is going to be combining my 10 rods. So all the lines are my rods. So I'm gonna count up my 10 rods and see how many I have in all, because my operation is what? Adding, we're adding. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 tens is equal to which number? I have 6 tens. 60. 6 tens is worth 60. So in my tens place, I'm going to have a 6. Now watch what happens here. This is the new part. You girls ready?
Yes.
Let's see what happens when I count my ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. In my ones place, I have 13. Now if I mark up a 13, tens and ones, do I have a tens place now? Yes. So if I have 13 ones, now I have a number in the tens place. That means I get to do something called regroup. Can you say regroup?
Regroup.
Regroup. So I regroup 10 of my ones, and guess what I can make? Guess what I can make? Another 10 rod. So now I don't just have 6 10 rods. That's right, I'm gonna have, the eraser. I'm going to have 7 tens. And how many ones are left? 3. So that means 47 plus 26 equals 73. So if we have more than 10 ones, what is 10 ones equal to? We can turn 10 ones into another 10 rod. All right, do you think you girls are ready to try?
Yes.
All right, I want you first. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna write the problem on your whiteboard and you're gonna mark up your tens place and your ones place, okay? So go ahead and mark up your tens place and your ones place. Very good. All right, so Anna, if you marked up your tens place for the number 32, what was your tens place, which number? 3, so we underlined the 3, and Anna, what was the ones? 2 ones. Rosalina, did you mark up 29?
Yes.
Yes, how many tens did you have?
2.
And how many ones?
9.
All right, now I want you girls using your manipulatives, your blocks. I want you to do 32 and 29, and then we're gonna count how many in all, okay? So start with 32. So take out your tens first, and then your ones. Good job, you gotta do 29 too. All right, very good. Anna, do you think that you can come up and draw the tens and ones for 32? Perfect, so you had how many 10 rods? 3 10 rods.
3 10 ones.
And
2 ones.
2 ones cubes. Perfect. All right, Rosalina, do you think that you can come up and draw the 10 rods and the ones cubes for 29? Perfect. So in a complete sentence, how many 10 rods do you have?
2.
I have.
I have 2 10 rods.
And
I have 9 1. 9
remember what they're called? A ones.
1.
A ones cube. Very good. All right. Now, since we are adding, we have to count all up together. So go ahead and count up your 10 rods and your ones cubes. Remember, if you have more than 10 ones, you need to regroup.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 11.
Okay. So what do you guys notice?
I noticed my cubes, I have 11 cubes.
11 cubes. What do we think about the number 11? Is it more than 10 or less than 10?
More than 10.
More than 10. So if we have more than 10 ones, what can we make? What can you make?
A 10 1.
Another 10. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
perfect. So you can put those 10 ones to the side and you can add another what to your group?
10.
Another rod. Perfect. Okay. So Anna, what do you need to add to your group? If you're gonna regroup, so you put away 10 ones, what do you need to replace it with?
10.
Another 10, perfect. So do you have another rod you can use?
No.
From your box?
Yes.
Yes. So add another 10 to your group. So you put your 10 ones away. So now we said this was equal to 10 ones, right? So 10 ones is equal to this. So you put away 10 ones and now you can add that to your group. So what's your final answer? Go ahead and count it up. Ooh, I see we have 2 different answers. You gotta be careful when you count. If we go too fast and make a mistake and our number is just off by 1, still wrong. All right, girls. So we regrouped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we made another 10 for a total of, how many 10s do we have?
6.
And how many ones?
1.
So what's the sum?
61.
61, very good. All right, girls, now you're gonna clean up all your stuff here. You're gonna go back to your seats and you're gonna take out your math workbook to get started for your independent practice.